Syncing.
All right.
Oh, hold on.
Can I sync just real quick?
Nope.
I want to sync.
Nope.
I want to be one to sync.
I don't want you to sync. Why? What difference does it make if you sync or I sync?
It makes no difference at all.
You just are an egotistical bitch that wants to be the first thing to say something on the podcast, don't you? You want the audience to immediately like you, so you sync up, and that's what you do on the podcast.
You are psychic. That's exactly what I want to do, because I want to be the one everybody knows. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's Caleb's podcast. And they're like, oh, who's that other fucking idiot? You know?
Well, people would do that anyway.
Mm-hmm. I'm Caleb. Welcome back to the Proceed with Confusion
welcome back to the Proceed with Confusion podcast. I'm Sam.
Caleb.
I'm Sam.
I'm Caleb.
I'm more important.
How about we call it a draw and say that I'm more important? Come here. Give me your fucking hand.
That's like, I always go up to people. I'm like, hey, you want to make a bet? And I'll flip a coin. I'll be like, heads I win, tails you lose. And then I'll go.
Did we make a discussion outline?
No.
All right, let's wing it.
Yeah. Oh, I hit the mic. That's that's one of the golden rules of podcasting.
Let's go over the golden rules of podcasts.
Golden rules of
Proceed with
podcasting.
Confusion podcast.
Just in general.
Yeah.
Here's what I've gotten so far. And these are based off of issues we've had.
Yes.
Don't eat. Mm-hmm. You have a plate of almonds over there, so we've already broken that rule. Stop messing with the lighting. Rule number 1, don't eat. You have a plate of almonds over there, you're breaking it. Bad podcast. Rule number 2, don't
tell me what to do.
Stop. Rule number 2, don't hit the mic. I've already broken that rule. Stop.
Can't tell me what to do. I'm going to break every rule.
Rule number 3, don't leave the room. Because we did that in our first episode.
I would break that rule, but that is a lot of work and requires me standing up and leaving the room. So,
rule number 4, less physical comedy. It's a podcast.
Hey, baby boy.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
All right.
Rule number 5, make good jokes. That one's the hardest one. We've broken every other rule so far, I think including that one. We're off to a great start.
We've definitely broken that rule.
Oh, yeah. That's the majority of our podcast.
Didn't we have Don't Be Racist on there?
That, I feel like, goes without saying, Caleb. Do you need to remind yourself about that?
Maybe, because I just really think that black people...
Let's just cut that up. Okay.
I'm sinking.
Stop. I wasn't... Fuck you. Okay. We have been hanging out a lot this summer.
Yeah.
But... I don't know about you. I've been real busy even when it's not us.
Every day.
I've been either hanging out with my friends, which is really good, or I started actually doing online voice acting. So I have my little closet that I soundproofed in there a bit with soundproof curtains, set up my microphone, and I go onto this website. It's called Casting Call Club, which you might like because it's people post their projects and they look for animators or writers or musicians or voice actors to help them out on it. And it has like the characters listed and it's just like forums, and you go on, and I've just been going through and auditioning for stuff.
That sounds fun.
It really is. Some of it's unpaid, some of it's paid. I haven't gotten any paid roles yet because none of them have been decided yet.
So what you're saying is you're a failure.
I started 2 weeks ago. Just kidding. I have one main character role that I'm going to be in a few games, I think, like indie games. It's all indie games.
Yeah.
I'm going to be some like various NPCs in a mod pack for Doom 3. I'm going to be, what else did I get? Oh, I got one that's going to be in like an indie horror game. I'm going to be one of the main characters. But yeah, I'm just getting a bunch of different roles and auditioning. It's really fun, man.
I'm not really any good at voice acting, but that would be just
I'm
a
not
fun
either.
thing to... You're definitely better than I am. Like, yeah, you're definitely better than I am.
I doubt it.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
All right, well...
The first step to being good at voice acting is you tell yourself you're good at it. Even if you're not, you got to have that confidence.
Hold for almond?
God fucking damn it. Rule number 1 of the podcast, don't eat. Don't eat. Excuse me. EA Sports.
It's in the game.
Little boys.
No.
We can't bring other podcast bits into our podcast.
Rule number 6. Or 7. How many golden rules do we have? I feel like we should have 10.
Don't eat. We should. 10 commandments. And we're going to get big slabs and we're going to put them right here.
We're going to get a big concrete slab that's going to stand right here.
We should get one of those boards that's like 0 days without an accident, but it should be 0 days without breaking a rule. And it's all, we're never going to have to change it because we're going to break a rule every single time. Okay. Golden Rules of Podcasting. It was don't eat. Don't hit the mic. Don't leave the room. Less physical comedy. I think that was it.
Yeah.
We don't need to put don't be racist.
We don't need to put don't be racist.
I don't have an issue with that. I know that you're like... I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. There were like 12 things that ran through my head.
Listen up here. Listen.
There were 12 things that ran through my head that I could say. Have you seen the SourceFed video, Santa Steve?
Mm-mm.
Dude. They just let Steve Zaragoza dress up as Santa and mess with everyone, and like people sit on his lap.
Did you say SourceFed new video? Those things don't go together in a podcast.
I didn't say new video
in a sentence.
But there was a SourceFed video, and it's Santa Steve, and he's just fucking with people. And Steven Suptic comes and sits on his lap.
Of course.
And Santa Steve goes, "You look like a 1950s racist."
I feel like that could go for both of us as well.
I don't. At all. I don't look like...
Would you have been racist in the 1950s?
No.
You're saying that.
I wouldn't have.
Really just think back.
No.
All
I
right.
wouldn't be. You are incriminating yourself right now.
No, I'm trying to... Realistically. There were
Realistically?
There were a lot of people who were racist back then.
That's a fact. I won't argue with that one.
So how do you know that you wouldn't be racist?
Because...
Growing up...
Because... my entire family is very progressive in their social outlooks and stuff. So I would have been raised, that would transfer over just back in time, and I would be raised to not be racist.
Now, let's think further back. Like, let's go 1830s.
1830s?
Would you...
I would live to the ripe old age of 11, and then I would be killed. Do you know how fucking unhealthy I was? I would get fucking kicked by a mule or something.
Let's take Sammy out back to the slaughterhouse.
We gotta take Sam out back. He's got them limp arms again. He can't do any work. We gotta take him out back and shoot him.
Like a horse
Father,
with a
why are we
broken
going
ankle.
out back? Boom!
Dad, where did Sammy go? He went upstate, son. He went upstate.
He went to live up in a farm upstate. He's living with all the other cows out there now.
I'm fairly certain, had it been like 1830s. Well, my family, I know I have some family that was from the South. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I would have owned slaves because slaves are like getting in dangerous territory here. But no, slaves are like that. That was like a small percentage of people. It was very wealthy landowners that would own slaves. I don't think my family's wealthy.
Maybe we should.
I would have just been racist.
Maybe we should. Maybe we should.
Next topic.
No, maybe we should put "don't be racist" as one of the rules. Maybe you do need to be reminded of that. I can guarantee you why I wouldn't be racist. You ready?
Hold for Ahmed.
I'm mostly German. My ancestors came down from Canada, and they were German and like Scottish and Irish migrant. Because we're white, we're everything. German, Prussian, Swedish, French, Irish, Scottish, English. That's all I am. Those are all immigrants. But that being said, some of my ancestors, I'm so white, some of my ancestors have been traced back to the Mayflower. I'm not even fucking with you.
Mine too. Yeah.
Yeah. You know why? Because white people are just awful.
I'm apparently, I don't know how true
racist.
this is, but apparently I'm very, very, very distantly related to John Lennon.
I think you're just trying to justify.
I don't know. My parents told me that like a couple years ago, and I don't know how true that is.
I think your parents are fucking with you. They
Maybe.
just know you like music,
I know.
and they were trying to inspire you. And they're like, maybe if we tell our boy that he's related to John Lennon, he'll stay on this music.
Maybe.
But
also, my parents are also like, don't do music. There's no career.
I mean, they're right.
They are. Sadly, they're right.
But
both of us are going to be the starving artists.
This is going to get into like crazy girlfriend territory. I have a dream in my mind that we move down to LA together and we share an apartment and just live the starving actor lifestyle.
Let's do it.
I mean, if you're down, I'm down.
I want to live in Southern California anyway.
I like the
Not in LA.
I like the Bay Area a lot. I really like the Bay Area. Dude, where I live right now, perfect. Suburb. My best friend lives right next door to me. My other friends live like 2-minute drives. Safeway is like a 2-minute drive. Like all the shopping, like everything's so close. Nice little suburb. I love this place.
Let me tell you my dream.
Yep.
I would love to make music.
Yeah.
But thinking
Which
far
you
into
do
the future
already.
when I retire. Yeah. Far into the future when I retire, I want to live in Southern California, a small little orchard with lemons, and I want to have bees. I want to have bees, and I want to beekeep. I'm going to be this like 70-year-old man beekeeping, loving his bees. And I'll be on a little lemon orchard. Not in a large home. I like just a small, like I don't like big homes. I like small and kind of cozy, and I'll go out on my porch and watch the sunrise, tend to my bees, pick my lemons. I'm going to make lemonade and sell it at farmers markets. And I'm going to live a happy little quiet life in Southern California on my orchard. And I have a very vivid image of it. I know where I am right now, and I know where I want to be. I just have to figure out all the stuff in the middle to get there.
Few things wrong with that I can see. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just first of all, I could definitely seeing you doing that. 100%. You are such a hipster. 2, all the honeybees will be extinct by then.
I know, that's why I want to beekeep. I love bees.
2, you're counting on that the United States doesn't get into a huge war and we get nuked and just lose Southern California.
You're right. I'm Exactly. That's all the stuff in between that I have to figure out.
How do I prevent a world war? How do I save a species from extinction?
Exactly.
And how do I grow fucking lemon trees?
I've heard lemons are like one of the more
Lemon
easy
bushes.
They're not bushes. We've had this discussion.
Lemon
They are
bush-
trees.
My grandma has a lemon bush and it touches the ground. It's a perfect. It's a
Google
bush.
searched it.
It's a bush.
It may.
I don't care what Google says. It's a bush. If you saw it, if I didn't tell you what it was and you just looked at it, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's a bush on the side of the house. And then I'd turn it around and there'd be lemons on it, and you'd be like, oh no
You're
way.
straight up delusional. I know it looks like a bush. It is not a bush though.
Why? What
We looked this up.
What separates a bush from a very low and completely filled out, touching the ground, no spaces in it tree? What's the difference?
I'm not sure.
What is the difference between that?
I'm not a plantologist.
They're the same thing. I was trying to think of the actual name for it. Agriculturalist? Agriculturalist.
That sounds like a political party. Agriculturalist.
Yeah. I guess we'll just go with plantologist. Plantains. I'm not a plantain.
I'm not a plantain. No, I don't know the specifics in I don't know the specifics in what separates a bush from a tree. I know that one is small and very bushy, and the other one.
Did you just describe a bush as bushy?
The other one is tall. It's like a bush
And
on
less
a.
bushy.
It's like a bush on a stick.
So what you just said is that if it's tall, it's just a tall bush.
No.
And this one is short and it
There's a
touches the
difference.
ground. Therefore, it's a bush.
There's a difference between a bush and a tall bush
You back
and a
yourself
tree.
into a corner. You know you're wrong, motherfucker. You know I'm right. You know you fucked up on this one. I can see the fear in your eyes.
Fear?
Yes.
Fear about being wrong about a lemon tree
listen
being
to
a
me.
bush?
It's a bush. If I texted, all growing up, my grandparents were like, "Go to the lemon bush and get bush. Go get lemons. Get George W. Bush.
Get George W. Bush down here stat.
When you were-
ASAP.
When you
we
were,
need him.
When you were saying what's the difference between a bush and a tree, I was like, well, one's a former president.
What president number was he? We're on like
I
49
don't
right
do
now. 48.
I don't know. I don't do anything related to numbers, and you know this.
I think I'm very off on that president number, and I feel really.
I think
bad.
45. Hey Siri, what president number are we at right now?
Okay, Google.
I didn't.
Okay, I found this on the web for what president.
Okay, Google.
Right now. Check it out.
None of these are answering. He's the 45th.
Okay.
Our idiot is the 45th.
All right. Yeah.
We're not getting involved.
Maybe we should.
No politics.
No politics.
Number 7. No
Yep.
politics.
All right.
Number 6.
Wait, what was the other one that I said to add?
Don't be racist.
No. Yeah, that one.
You obviously need that apparently, and I don't know
What
if
was
I
the
want
other
to keep
one?
being friends.
No, what was the other one?
I don't know, man.
Listen, I'm like the least racist.
As soon as you say that, you make that statement not true at all.
You see, I would have some criticism, but that would
Summer
also delve
boys.
into our 8th golden rule: no politics.
That's 7.
7.
I just said that was 7.
All right. Well, you know my attention span.
Yeah.
It's where?
When I would describe this podcast to people, I would say one dude has ADHD, the other's just an idiot.
Yeah, that was a possible name for ours.
ADHD and idiocy.
Yeah.
Wasn't that one of the ones we
Kind of
figured?
catchy, but it's a little degrading.
It's very degrading. That's
Just-
one of the
just a
things we
tad
had to
bit.
keep in mind when we were making this. We're like, we gotta
Like,
stop.
yeah,
we
we-
gotta stop making fun of ourselves so much.
Self-deprecating
Number 8,
is good
Number
to a
8,
point.
don't make fun of yourself so much.
Yeah.
Because people don't want to hear that.
We're generally just kind of self-deprecating people.
Yeah, I'm very much less so. I've gotten a lot more confident since I got hot. If I must say
for me,
myself.
I wouldn't. I mean, certain times, I guess it would be rooted out of not having so much confidence. But generally, most of the time, it's just kind of making fun of myself. It's not out of
I still
lack
do that.
of confidence.
Yeah, I still do that. It used to be lack of confidence, and I cover that up with humor.
Yeah.
But now it's more just like it's easy to make fun of myself, and it's fun. Don't touch your mind.
I'm just moving it.
My lips have probably been on this for. I think we've been going for like 16 minutes.
Yeah.
I think my lips have been on it for about 15 minutes of the podcast.
I try to keep a little space and focus on
space.
like my oral posture when I'm talking.
Real space. Your oral posture.
Oral posture.
Listen, I'm a voice actor and I'm in theater class, and I've never heard someone say oral posture.
That's a thing. Why is that? That's definitely a thing. It's how you position your mouth and how you speak.
I bet that's right.
Like, where is your tongue when you just mouth at rest?
Middle of my mouth. Maybe the front tip of it touches the roof of my mouth. Yeah, no.
So there's okay, right
rests-
behind your teeth. There's this little ridge, and then from there it goes like whoop and up in this little like dome. Does it rest inside of that dome?
Not 100%.
That's where your tongue is supposed to rest. So I've been working on that more.
Like completely flat against the roof of your mouth.
Not like entirely. Like you shouldn't have to push it there, but like exactly.
All right. I
It's like your tip of your tongue should be further back there.
Oh, like the tip of your tongue should be in the curve of your mouth, like in the middle of your mouth.
Right where it kind of comes back down to that ridge behind your teeth. That I guess you're like the
like
tip of
here?
your tongue is supposed to. No, not it's your tip of your tongue is supposed to be. Okay, man, I need like a pad to illustrate this. This is a stupid discussion, but yeah,
like
I've been
it.
trying to work on it.
I've been focusing on breathing a lot more, because when people breathe, they breathe all in their chest. You're not supposed to do that in theater. You're supposed to breathe from your stomach. So I've been trying to force myself to breathe from my stomach. It's really difficult. And the main thing my theater teacher says is she's like, you got to work on breath control. When I gave my monologue, she was like, everything was good, but you got to focus on your breath control. I was focusing on how you're breathing. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
No, this is also what this podcast is for, so we can learn and get better at just talking into a mic and just talking.
Who's
in
Mike?
general? Mr.
Raj?
Raj?
Mike? Mr. Raj? We
That-
never got Lauren in the
50% of that 50% of the time it works
60% of the time it works
all
every
the
time. You did not know that quote. You were just trying to go with what I said. You're
all
like,
the time. I mean, that's where I was going, but I didn't know the exact quote.
That's from Anchorman. 60% of the time it works every time. I'm probably getting that quote
It's
wrong.
definitely not 60% in the case of Mr. Raj.
Mr. Raj is definitely, I'd say like 40, 60.
No.
40% of the time it works.
If you're not familiar with Mike,
Mr. Raj.
if you will, everybody knows him.
He's a neat guy.
He's a real neat guy.
If you go to your friends and you say, hey, do you know Mr. Raj? And they're like, who? And you're like, Mike. And then try to get them to say his full name.
Just be like, he's a he's
a great guy.
Black belt in karate. Too
Don't
big.
be racist.
Too big of a pause after black.
Dude, that's like, there was a video, it was like, yeah, my friend just keeps pausing his sentences at really weird times. He's like, he walks in the room, he's like, hey, can I buy your son a bike for his birthday?
But yeah, he's a black belt in karate. If you ask him, he'll do a backflip for you.
A black flip, if you will.
He goes to a different school.
What? How old is he? Because we're calling him Mr. Raj.
He actually has Benjamin Button disease, so nobody really knows.
Benjamin Button. I never seen that movie. Is that considered a serious movie, or is that considered just a weird as fuck movie? Who was that made by? Because I feel like it was an artistic movie.
I know Benjamin Button he was entirely animated.
Like even when he was an adult?
Like the entire character of him was animated. And it's like, it really falls into the uncanny valley type thing.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I think you're fucking with me. I can
No,
never tell
I'm
when
sure.
you're fucking with me.
No,
like that one time I was staring into your eyes and I was like, oh, your eyes are brown. And you're like, no, my eyes are blue. And then we had like a whole 5-minute discussion. And
I got him to believe it.
colorblind. I never believed it, but I was starting to. Because you were so adamant about it.
Let me pull this up. Benjamin Button.
Oh my God. I don't want to look at
For
it.
the audio listeners, go ahead and just search up Benjamin Button movie.
We'll put it on the screen.
Yeah.
We'll put it on the screen.
Let's just...
Like just the picture that you show me.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. I can't remember what he looks like or anything about the movie other than just the plot. And I feel like that's what the majority of people remember. I don't even remember when it came out. When did it come out? Like early 2000s?
I don't know, actually. I've never watched the film.
I haven't either.
But he's 100% animated.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
What the fuck, man? That's so creepy.
Like,
I hate
especially
that.
look at his like chest and everything. The subsurface scattering on his skin makes it kind of look not. He looks kind of plasticky.
Wait, so does only his face age, or is it his whole body age?
Because
right there, it looks like he has like a young man's body, but an old head.
Yeah, and apparently it's supposed to be. Oh, it's supposed to be Brad Pitt. What the fuck?
What?
Is it Brad Pitt?
Is that
what? I don't know.
Supposed to be Brad Pitt?
I don't know.
That doesn't look like Brad Pitt.
Holy shit! It's Brad Pitt.
Holy shit. Speaking of bad movies, last night I saw a movie. It's on demand. Mm-hmm. It's called Triassic Attack.
Okay, explain this to me.
Let me tell you the plot. You ready?
Wait, let me figure out the. Okay, while you're doing this, I'm gonna figure out if he's entirely animated.
Okay, I don't think he is. So the plot of the movie is this British dude buys land in a town. I don't know what for. There's Native Americans living in the town. He's trying to kick them off their land. They're fighting over the land. Then the Native Americans are like, oh, we need to do something to get... And this is like modern day. The Native Americans are like, oh, we need to keep them off this land. How do we get them to go away? So one dude goes into the museum because they just have a giant like warehouse museum full of like dinosaur bones and shit. And he stands there and he does this really over the top ritual where he's like chanting, like shit's going crazy, and it keeps cutting, and it's like cutting between him doing like this. And like it's all over the place. It was a wild fucking scene. And he brings the dinosaur bones back to life, and they start attacking things, and they have glowing red eyes, and they're fully CG. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Just keep going.
I don't know if you've... I can't even think of what to compare it to. The dinosaurs are like really prominent, and they show a lot, and they look horrible. They look like completely It looks like if you took that chapstick and then just like use that to model the bones.
This is Big B's chapstick.
Big B's?
Can't get demon. I don't know how any of the advertising
Burt's
thing works.
Wasps.
Yeah. Burt's Wasps.
Bursts.
Watts.
Burps.
Watts
Waps.
Wax. Watts Wax.
Burp.
Lip balm.
Waps.
Burt's.
Big
Wasp,
Birds.
Wasp
This
Wax.
is
Lip
Big
balm.
Bird's Whip Bomb. But yeah, it looks awful. And I think we should watch it.
I'm
because
100% now.
I watched a little bit of it at Sean's house, and it was fucking hilarious.
Okay, can I talk about the
The
Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
okay.
In nearly a third of his scenes, Pitt's expressions were digitally mapped and then recreated it and imposed over the faces of other actors.
I told you.
So it's animated to an extent.
They just facial map him.
Yeah.
Which is what I thought. That's why I said the head looked animated, but the rest of it looked normal.
There are 325 shots, 52 minutes of the film where there is no actual footage of Brad.
Holy shit.
He's not in any of the shots.
When was this made?
Oh, wait. When the audience is actually seeing... What the audience is actually seeing is in the first third of the movie is a computer-generated copy of Pitt's head, which the studio aged digitally.
Jesus. But it's put onto other actors. Yes.
Yes.
It is. Which is what I said. Roll back the tape. That's what I said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. When was this made? I've asked you 5 times now.
2009?
Jesus Christ. You know what? That sounds about right. I think that
2008. December
2008?
25th.
I bet it
released
looks
on Christmas?
I bet it looks atrocious now.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Have you watched Avatar recently?
No, I watched it one time in the. You mean Last Airbender or Blue People?
Blue People.
Okay, no. I watched it one time and I didn't think it was good, but it was critically acclaimed because at the time it was a cinematic masterpiece and a marvel of technology.
I have issues with it. I watched it it was a while ago, but like when I watched it, I was like, ooh, this has aged rather quickly. We've come so far. Like, have you seen the new Toy Story?
I haven't, but I really
my
want to.
God,
I've
it's
seen
fantastic.
footage of it. It looks amazing.
Have you seen that cat?
Yes,
it
everyone
looks
thought it
real.
Everyone thought it was a real shot.
Oh my God,
It looked so good.
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And the storyline, dude,
Yeah,
fantastic plot.
but then you get films such as Avengers Infinity War, where at the last minute they decide, oh, Hulk's not going to be in the movie. It's just going to be Bruce Banner and the Hulkbuster. And they stick little Mark Ruffalo's head inside the giant Hulkbuster, and it looks fucking hilarious.
Yep.
Because it's like this just perfectly animated fucking giant Hulkbuster
And his head
suit.
is going like...
Yeah, and his Hulk, he has the floating head,
Yeah.
and like it's lit completely
Yep.
wrong, and like, man.
Yep.
But Endgame, all the animation in it was so good. The way Thanos was animated, he looks so good.
I haven't seen any of the Avengers films past the third one.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. I know I need to catch up. It's a lot of movies because you have to not only do you have to watch the Avengers films, you have to watch all of the like individual superhero story
This
films.
is what I'm gonna say, and this applies to how you do your schoolwork too. If you do it when it came out on time, you wouldn't have to binge all this shit and waste so much more time. If you'd watch the films as they came out, then you wouldn't have to go back and sit down and watch all of them and overwhelm yourself. If you did your fucking homework on time, you wouldn't have to stay up like you and Anthony and literally not sleep. And then he goes to school the next day on 0 hours of sleep.
That's what I did.
You stay home.
No, I went to
No,
school
you didn't.
eventually.
You went
I
to
came
school
later
for the
in the
last
day.
period.
For
That
the
doesn't
period
count.
that I had to get the work done for.
That's
I did about 2 months of work in one night.
Fucking idiot.
I'm not a good student.
Do you know when I did my 2 months of work? During those 2 months.
You see, on the surface, that looks like a fantastic idea.
And underneath the surface, it does as well.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. No,
I'm still a procrastinator, but much less so.
yeah.
It's still an issue, but much less so. The more I hang out with you, you know what I've noticed? You motherfucker. I'm always early to everything. Always. The more I've been hanging out with you, I'm late to stuff now. I'm late to stuff because I'm trying to run on your time because I've been hanging out with you so much. If I
I'm a
tell
bad
you,
influence.
if I tell you to show up at 3, you will text me at 3:30 saying you're on your way.
No.
You live 5 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
You won't show up at my house until 4:15.
Yeah.
You are a fucking disgrace.
Can we talk about that time Monday we were
Okay, no. So Monday, yeah, we had been planning this movie night. We're gonna have a bad movie night. We're doing all this, getting a bunch of friends together. I told everyone, show up at 2. Caleb texted me a few days before. He's like, hey, I apparently have a piano lesson. It's gonna be more like half an hour. And I was like, all right, that's fine. Let's push it back to 2:45. I push it back to 2:45. I tell everyone that. Excuse me. They're all like, okay, that's fine. 2:45 comes around. I get a knock at the door. There's Jared. I'm like, oh, dope. He showed up on time. Jared and I sit and talk for about half an hour just by ourselves.
Which is also funny because Jared never shows up on time.
Yeah. Jared and I sit and talk for half an hour by ourselves. I text the group chat. Lauren and Alina say that Alina's not even done cooking yet. 15 more minutes go by, ish, probably more.
Yeah.
Alina and Lauren show up. We wait 25 more minutes. I text Caleb. No, I first call you. You don't answer. I call you again, put you on speakerphone. I don't say anything. I just put it on speaker and I let it sit and we all listen. You pick up the phone, go, yeah, my piano thing went longer than I expected. I'm leaving soon. I don't say a word. I just hang up on you.
I know. I was like, oh, they're pissed. They're pissed.
You, after saying that you were leaving then, show up half an hour later.
I had to go to Safeway, but I brought brownies, okay? And chocolate.
That you ate all the chocolate, though.
I passed it around.
I got 2 pieces. You ate about 40.
And then a couple days later, I got the same chocolate package.
God fucking damn it. You eat too much chocolate. I hate that you eat so terribly, but you're always going to be in better shape than me.
Because I'm a CrossFit god.
You shut up. You can't make it through the warm-up.
Yeah, I get a lot of breath.
Hey, I meant to talk. This is 2 or 3 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
Me, Nelson, and Mitch, or Nelson and Mitch,
Yeah.
they were like, hey, it's 10:30 at night. We're bored. We haven't gone skateboarding in about 4 years. I was like, you know what? That's a great idea. Let's skateboard on a route that we never go on by the new houses over there, so we don't know what the sidewalk's like at all. At 10:30 at night, when we can't see the ground, after not doing it for 4 years, we're going full speed, a little past Costco, back, starting to get to where the fields are. I'm going full speed, having the time of my life. It's great. Just going, Joan.
Joan?
I hit the sidewalk going full speed. I fall off. I don't skid. I just hit. All my velocity stops immediately. I immediately pop up and I'm like, all right. I check my tooth because I hit like that. My tooth was fine.
Yeah.
Thank Christ.
That scares me.
Yeah.
Teeth.
That
Ooh.
I have something to talk about that later too.
Okay.
Hit my tooth is fine. I'm like, okay, not bleeding from my chin, beard patted it. Look down, my knees, pouring blood out of them, skinned both of them. My hands, they're still kind of like that.
Ooh,
I got like,
you have rocks in them.
no, those aren't rocks. Those are
okay.
like blood under the skin.
Oh, okay.
So I had those and they were all scratched up
Yeah.
and bleeding from my hands too. I'm like I'm like, all right, that's fine. I go to extend my arm and I'm like, ooh, I can only extend it to about 110 degrees instead of 180. I go to bend it. I'm at about 80 degrees instead of 0. I still, like, doing, this hurts. This is fine now. I can't, like, if I twist my wrists, I can't. It hurts so much still. I have, like, knots in my forearms because my forearms caught all of my weight and all of my speed.
Yep.
So, if you didn't think my arms were already injured enough, I haven't been able to work out for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I still probably won't be able to
Have
next
you gone
week.
to the doctor?
I went to luckily, I had a physical therapist appointment the next day.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, probably just rest these for a few days.
Yeah.
I dug into my forearms with my elbow one time. I need to do it more because both of these are just giant knots. Man, I can't do anything without getting hurt.
Now, you skateboard.
No.
Well, sort of.
Not anymore.
Yeah, but
I'll
like
fucking
you
burn that thing.
you skateboard.
I learned how to skateboard freshman year.
All right.
All growing up, Nelson, Mitch, Ryan, who I don't talk to anymore, they would all skateboard all over the place, try to teach me, never learned. Freshman year, Nelson left his penny board at my house. I was riding it around a bit, just like, I can actually kind of do this now.
Yeah.
But it was too small, so I kept falling. So I got nickel board. I know how to nickel board. Okay.
So yeah, you skateboard, I longboard.
Yeah.
Now, I think I started learning how to longboard 7th or 8th grade with Dylan.
Yeah.
And there was a loud thumping.
That was, I think your brother got mad.
Oh, yeah, he did that last night. I was like, what is going on
I think
in
your
there?
brother just like got mad at his game and hit some shit.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No, he does that.
That was terrifying.
It was like, whoa, I was ready to die.
Yeah, I was like, I think we're getting broken into.
I know.
We're getting broken into at 2 in the afternoon.
Prime hours for burgling.
Burgling. All right.
Anyway.
You longboard.
Yeah. So I was taught by Dylan. When I first started, we were just going around. I'm still kind of learning just how.
Yeah.
Everything. And he's like, dude, we should just go up this hill and like, try this out.
Great idea.
And it's like, it's where all the rich houses are, like the big mansions, and and it's this like one road, and then it starts to go up the hill, and it splits into a Y. And what you can do is go down one part of the Y, and then as you're gaining speed, you turn and you can go up the other part of the Y. It's kind of like a U.
Is that? I'm trying to think where we are in the lakes. Mitch's house is there. Is it like
Back
over
there? It's that
Yeah.
the large hills. And it's like nice pavement as well, like newly paved. And we're like,
wait, no,
sweet.
Mitch's house is over there.
Well, it all just Anyway,
I
think
know
you
where
know
it is.
Yeah, and there's like the road blocked thing where it's like
Yeah.
trespassers will be prosecuted.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know exactly where it is.
So
So you were
he's like,
trespassing.
dude, let's go up there. That's cool. No, we didn't go past that.
Rule
But
number 9: don't break the law.
anyway, so he's like, all right, cool. This is awesome. This is a perfect hill. And I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go up there.
I'm already scared for you.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, all right, so we're going to start out a little slow. We're going to start up on the lower end of this hill, and we're just going to kind of, be careful. And he taught me how, and he showed me what he was doing, and I'm like, all right, full send. So I stand up on the board. Oh, no, before I didn't full send. I sat down on the board, and I was like, let's just try this.
That was the majority
scared.
of my skateboarding growing up, is I would sit on the board and pedal myself with my hands.
Yep. So I sit down on the board. I start going, and slowly gaining speed. Now, if you've never skateboarded or longboarded or anything before, as you gain speed, there's this thing called speed wobble, which is
Terrifying.
absolutely terrifying. You're going like,
Yeah.
what, 10, 15 miles per hour?
Yeah, you're going like nearing 20 miles an hour, and your
board
skateboard is like, like if it gets bad enough that like the tips
It'll
will
throw
touch
you-
either side of the floor.
It'll throw you off.
And-
it started to happen. I had never experienced it before.
Oh, dude.
I freaked out.
Yeah.
I just like, vroom, rolled off. I rolled off of the.
Did you tuck
off
at
the
least?
board? I tried. I was okay. Like I was just starting to get speed and stuff. I was terrified.
Yeah.
I roll off the board, and the board keeps going. And I look at the board, and Dylan and I both just stare as we watch it go into the gutter. It just. It wasn't my board. It was Dylan's.
Dude, I can totally imagine you're just like, all right, this is my first time. Am I good to go? And he's like, yeah. And you're like, okay. Oh, this is pretty fast. I better bail out. And then you just sit in silence as it like.
And I was like,
Yeah. Yeah. Dude.
we got it back, but it just.
You got it back?
Yeah.
How?
It went in, and like the rear wheel got caught at the top of the.
You lucky
I know. I was so lucky. If it had gone full in,
You'd have
It
to
would've
talk
been
to
a-
Pennywise.
yeah, exactly. I couldn't fit through that. It would probably be like, hey, call like whatever the city people are. And
They wouldn't get it
they
for
wouldn't.
you.
I would probably grab a fishing pole or something and try to, fish it
I
out.
want you to explain to me how you could use a fishing pole to get a longboard out of the gutter.
Explain like I'm 5. So,
I know how fishing poles work.
Big
If you're
pole.
about to explain.
big pole.
Yep.
Big hook. Big hook.
Okay.
Pole in gutter.
Yep.
Hook down gutter.
Yep.
Skateboard. Hook. Whoop. Reel. Up. Pull out. Wha-bam. Now you got your board back.
And that's how you have
And
sex.
that's
Speaking of destroying other people's belongings and losing them. My friend Tyler, I used to know this guy named Tyler. I still know him.
Yeah.
Obviously, because that's why the story's happening. My friend Tyler, I hung out with him so much in elementary school, and I think like in middle school he moved away.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd been like 4 or 5 years. And the other day, me, Nelson, and Kritzada are all hanging out, and Tyler texts us just out of nowhere. And he's like, hey, I'm moving back I'll like be in Fairfield for another month. And we're like, dope. So he came back and we hung out with him the other day. He looks exactly the same. He listens to the same music. He now does disc golf.
Explain to me. I'm not familiar with what that is.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Have you ever been in a park and you see those poles and it has like chain baskets and then like the basket underneath? Like there'll be chains hanging down and it's like baskets just in the middle of a field or something. Anyway, that's the hole. You take frisbees and you stand on like a slab of concrete like a ways away from these things and you try to throw the frisbees into the baskets. I thought that was it. Tyler comes here. He's teaching us how to do it. He's like, no, you can do...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, you can do fan grip. You can do fucking pistol grip. You can do the full thing. He has different discs. Like, there's putters. There's mid-range. There's long range. There's all this stuff. You can side-hand it, but you get more accuracy, but you don't get enough power. Like, there's so much shit. He's teaching us how to do it, just like at the park by our house. And we're like, all right, let's go pick up Cortada and let's go to Vacaville and do it. We get to Vacaville at Pina Adobe, that lake.
Yeah.
The lake. Can't stress lake enough. We get there. It's a lake right against hills that is, I guess the wind is at least 20 miles an hour.
It gets real windy here.
At least 20 miles an hour. I'm not good with speed. I don't know if that's like more or less. It was so windy. Wind plus lake plus throwing frisbees.
Yeah.
Bad combo. We're going. Hole 1, doing good. Really fun. Can barely hear each other. Have to scream to hear. We have to like throw like completely vertical into the wind to make it go that way. Hole 1, fine. We go to hole 2. I take my first throw. I throw it off. It goes towards the lake. Luckily, it lands in the reeds. And I'm able to like crawl through some mud to get it back.
Ooh.
Hole 3, fine. Hole 4.
You know what you could have used there? A fishing pole.
Shut the fuck up. God. Hole 4, let me paint a picture for you. Hole 3 has all been on this hill. There's a lake right here, right? Hole 4.
What's the sky like?
Clear. Because it's windy as shit.
Give me an approximate temperature.
73.
UV rating?
2. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Let's go.
Okay. Hole number 4. It's like this. There's a little peninsula that comes out. The hole is in the middle of the peninsula. There's water on either side. And they want you to throw over the water to get there.
Oh.
We're like, we're not going to throw over the water. That's a bad idea. Tyler's like, I've been doing this for a while. I can throw it over the water. Me and Nelson and Kritzada were like, all right, we're just going to walk over there and we'll practice our mid-range on the hole. Tyler stands at the thing. He throws his frisbee because he's been so good at it. He's been doing it for years. He throws his frisbee and it goes right into the fucking water. He's like, fuck. We're like, what did you think would happen? He's like, all right, whatever. He's like, that's part of the game. You just lose your frisbee sometimes. He has an entire backpack. I'd estimate like 50 frisbees in there.
And prepared.
And they're all like paired up. So it's like long range, mid-range putter, long range, mid-range putter. And it's just like repeating. So we're like, all right, he gets another frisbee out and we're like practicing our mid-range, practice our putting there.
Yeah.
Everything's going good. Nelson overthrows his a bit. I go and I stop it. I'm like, all right. I take it. Oh, and I learned that I'm really good with the sidearm. Like I can throw it and it goes right in.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. I take the mid-range and I'm passing it back to Nelson. I take it, I lightly throw it against the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just super low,
Mm-hmm.
nice and gentle. Just real easy, right back to him.
Yeah.
He's maybe 6 feet away. Nice lob along the ground to get him. I throw it. The wind catches it. It goes about 45 feet in the air, about 30 back, and right into the lake. I was so pissed. I just went. Nelson was like, "Pass it back." I was like, "Okay." Up. Yeah. It just went. Phew. I was like, "How the fuck is that physically possible?
Incredible.
How did physics let that happen?" Tyler was like, "Dude, what the fuck?" I was like, "You saw me throw that, and you just definitely threw yours directly into the lake, so I don't want to hear it." He was like, "All right, it's fine."
Let me get one of those 50.
Yeah.
50 discs.
Oh
you
my
have.
God. It was fucking, I felt so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And these Frisbees, you think if losing them and throwing them into water is part of the game, you'd make them float. Right?
Yeah.
Logical.
You're right. Yeah.
They go straight in. They don't come out. They go bloop, and they're gone forever. I estimate there's probably about 100 to 200 Frisbees at the bottom of that lake.
I was just about
Just next to hole 4. It was really fun when we weren't throwing them into lakes or being scared about getting thrown into lakes.
Did I ever tell you about the time I got lost in Mexico in a golf cart?
Do we have to go back to rule number 5?
No.
Okay.
It does not involve
Keep it in
Mexicans.
Keep it in mind. It's for your own good.
Okay. Our audience doesn't know me.
I know. That's what
They're
makes
just
it-
like, oh, this racist son of a
That's
bitch.
what makes it really funny to me. I can just make you think that you're whatever. Caleb hates every race equally.
Yeah.
Which makes him not racist.
Exactly. I hate my own race.
I just remembered a vine where he's like, there's only one race, the human race. And then he gets smacked and he's like, but what about NASCAR?
Okay.
Getting lost in a golf cart in Mexico.
All right. Yeah. So my favorite part about golfing, I'm utterly terrible at golfing. My favorite
Can
part
I just
is,
say something before
yes.
you go farther? You look like the type of person that would be really good at golfing.
Oh, I know I do.
You wear the short shorts. and the
Contrary to
shorts.
popular belief, I am not good at golfing.
All right.
That is the popular belief that I am good at golfing.
Caleb, for popular belief to be true, that means a lot of people do it and know it and think it. You don't know a lot of people. Not a lot of people like you.
Not a lot of races like me.
Rule number 5.
So, I feel like that just keeps changing rule number. Which one? I don't know.
I've said rule number 5 at least the last 3 or 4 times.
I thought that was rule number 6 or
let's make
7.
let's just make it rule number 10 so we don't forget.
So
we have
rule number 9.
We have rule 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10.
We need to get this.
I'll write it down.
Yeah. Okay.
Golf cart, Mexico.
Yeah. So, my favorite part about golfing is driving the golf cart because those are so fun.
I've never got to drive one and I feel really bad.
So yeah, we go to like the golf course and they're like, all right, golf carts. And I thought I was going to have to drive with somebody because it's like, oh, I think I was like 15 or 16 at the time. And so I thought somebody was going to have to drive with me. And they're just like, no, go for it. They didn't say anything. I'm like, cool.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah, they didn't care.
Whenever I'm there, like no matter, this has started happening in the U.S.
They loaded my golf cart with beer.
Yep. They give you alcohol no matter what age.
Yeah.
That started happening to me at restaurants here. And I get they wouldn't just give it to me if I asked. They'd be like, do you want a drink? And can I see your card? Like, if I was like, yes, they'd be like, let me see your card. But people are like offering me alcohol now, and I don't like it.
So, they're letting me take my own golf cart. I'm like, sweet.
Getting fucked up on Coronas when driving a golf cart through Mexico.
And this was before I think I started like driving at all, like driving cars. So it's like,
shit.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how any of this. Yeah.
I played Mario Kart a few times.
And yeah, so we start pulling away, leaving to go golfing, and I step on the accelerator, and I get going a little too fast for my taste.
You get going.
I get going. So I'm like, oh, I'm going a bit fast, and I push on the brakes, but I don't have that like gauge that you kind of get when you start driving, where you're like, oh,
So you
that's
just
too much
slam.
pressure, and I slammed on him and just skid, and I look back, and all of the workers are just looking at me, and I'm like, okay. And so we start going again. Got to probably a couple hours later, we kind of split up. So it's like me, Jared, Noah, and his friend, or his friends Parker and Tyler.
Yeah.
And we're all.
Oh, so like no parents?
Yeah, my dad and his friends kind of went off on their own thing. We're like, because none of us are actually any good at golfing. We're just kind of having fun, just driving around and doing crazy shit, you know. So we're
Just a couple of wild and crazy guys.
exactly. So we're driving around, and we're trying to figure out how to, because there's multiple golf courses. There's like different golf routes. There's one that's like a swamp. There's another one that's like, I don't like rainforest, but like jungle-ish, like, you know.
Yeah.
So now Jared and everybody else is getting like pelted with mosquitoes. I'm not. Mosquitoes don't like me, so I'm very lucky in that regard. And I think we counted. Jared had 80 mosquito bites at the end of it. 80.
And now he's dead from malaria.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Jared.
So we were like, all right, let's find this different course and hope there's less mosquitoes. And so we're driving around trying to figure out where to go, and we start taking. It kind of gets less developed as we keep going. We're trying to follow the course. Soon we find ourselves just on dirt. We're like off-roading on golf carts. There's like puddles around us, driving through the jungle. We're just We're like, where the fuck did the roads go? Where did the roads go? We're on golf carts. I feel so exposed. I'm gonna get like eaten by an iguana or some shit. Like,
What do you think iguanas,
are so big.
I've seen iguanas.
They're huge.
Do you think a thing
not gonna
that
eat me.
size could
No.
eat you?
There are definitely alligators though. We saw them. They're just alligators just chilling on the golf course. Like,
I don't think I've ever seen an alligator and a crocodile in the wild.
I have. It's kind of scary. I thought it was fake at first, and then I went kind
Why
of
would it
near
be
it,
fake?
and then it moved, and I was like, well, I'm out of here.
Yeah. I went to Florida and I didn't see any gators. I was disappointed. I saw manatees though. Did you know they have manatees?
Manatees
in
seem
Florida?
so chill.
Dude, you know those like gutters in the side of the road? Mm-hmm. There were just manatees in them. Like they were filled with water and there were just manatees in them.
Okay. Yeah.
Not just like manatees
Wait,
just
are you
flopping
talking
around.
Are you talking like? Okay, explain to me this gutter. Are you talking like on the roadside?
No, you know how like you'll have ditches and they'll be like kind of little rivers, but like they're not that big. It's just manatees moving through them.
I was picturing like, you know, when you're washing your car and it flows down the driveway and into the gutter on the right. Like that's what I was picturing. I'm like, how the fuck did a manatee get
a
there?
big ass manatee just in the gutter, just fucking.
What sound do manatees make? That seems appropriate. So yeah, I'm in the Mexican jungle.
That's the name of my favorite porno.
And we're driving, and we're like, oh, civilization ahead. We see a road, and this fucking big truck drives by. We're like, that's a freeway. We
Jesus.
somehow went through the jungle, like dirt roads, dodging these like puddles of just like stagnant water, trying to get through, and we run across a freeway.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And we're like, we just gotta go back.
Yeah.
I think it took us like an hour to get back to
Jesus Christ.
any remotely appropriate place.
What did your parents think?
They were just chilling. They didn't know where we were. We don't have cell reception. We're just chilling.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Jesus. My parents would not allow that. They would not let me go off in a golf cart by myself.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It was. Excuse me.
That's fucking real professional.
Excuse me.
You know what? On that note, thank you for watching the
Yeah.
Proceed with Confusion
Thank you.
podcast.
This
Thank
has
you
been
for
fun.
listening. This has been good.
Yeah.
Check us out on Twitter at PW Confusion.
I got rid of the note
Check us
card.
out on Instagram at Proceed with
We'll
Confusion.
put it up on the screen.
Check us out on YouTube at Proceed with Confusion. I think those are only three: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Share,
Yeah,
like,
thanks for
subscribe,
tuning in.
bell notification, comment, like, dislike.
Good
Don't-
noon, everybody.
Don't dislike. Why are you saying "God damn it"?
Loop back to this discussion.
Rule number 10. Don't say good noon.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
Bye. I love you. I got the sink.